Oh my god. Hey, hi, hello. I bet you're wondering what we're doing on the floor again. Well, the answer to that is Stinky's asleep on my chair. I'm not moving her. I'm not a monster. And also, you might be wondering, what is this 2.5 foot tall stack of books doing? That's not your book stack. That's your book stack. Yeah, I know. These are all the books I've purchased in the last 2 weeks. Someone take away my wallet, except I have my credit card number memorized. Someone put me on a book ban. Just lock me in a room until I'm done reading all of these. Ugh. So let's do a book haul because my problem is your entertainment. Firstly, I would like to say I did purchase all of these, most of these, from thrift books or half price books. So really, I was saving money. Also, saving the environment because these books would just end up in a landfill. Really, I'm doing a community service, and these should be a tax write off. We're going to start with the books that I purchased for April, which is Arab American Heritage Month. So I made a list on my Goodreads of all potential books for that month. And then I went on Thrift Books and I found the four that were affordable and seemed entertaining to me. All of them are ones that I would like to read. Like all the books I put on my Goodreads are ones that all sounded interesting to me. So maybe I'll read like other ones next year. So I'm not buying anything that doesn't sound like it would be interesting to me to begin with. The first book that I have here is The Next New Syrian Girl by Reem Shukeri. Okay, so this one is a dual point of view from two teenage girls. One who's a refugee, and the other one is Syrian American. It seems to be kind of like an enemies to friends kind of situation. The two main characters, Khadija, is like really trying to go against her family's expectations of her. And then Lean is really just doing her best to adjust to fleeing from Syria and moving to America and being in high school, which is like the worst possible thing that could happen to a person. I ripped the freaking cover because I'm an animal. I was trying to get the library binding off and it ripped, and I'm sad. The cover is gorgeous, stunning, amazing. Can we have a moment for the cover? Okay, thank you. I always like to pick up a nonfiction whenever I'm doing my monthly months. So the one that I found is Love is an Ex-Country by Rhonda Jar. Also, another moment for the cover. Thank you. Okay, so it's the journey of Rhonda as she goes on a road trip, and she journeys through like different parts of her past life, talking about reclaiming her autonomy after living kind of in survival mode. It talks about living through domestic violence, single motherhood, and discovering her sexuality, and going through the life that she's led, like hitting all the major parts and going to the neighborhood that her family first lived in as immigrants, and how she can find joy in such a desperate and difficult country as America. I'm excited to read this. It sounds very chaotic, honestly. I'm excited to read this. I think it'll be really, really funny and quite a journey, literally. Next, the woman that ripped my fucking heart out, Atuf Room with Evil Eye. These covers are so good. So good. In a world full of AI slop, something that actually looks like a literal painting, that probably was a painting and then slapped on the book cover. Unmatched. Unmatched. Our main character, Yara, had kind of a shitty childhood. And so she got out, she got her degree, she got her education, she got married, and she had two children, two daughters, and she's happy knowing that her life is better than her mother's. But someday she is so angry and so sad and just filled with these feelings that she can't explain. Her mother tells her that there's a curse on the family, and she doesn't believe in curses, but she thinks an evil eye might be at work here. So she has to go uncover what's going on and fix it so that she can go back to living her best life. This woman ripped my heart out. A Woman Is No Man was gut-punching, gut-wrenching, gut-rearranging. So good. So this book is kind of a must-read. I will read anything she puts out because I love to hate myself. And finally, we have Between Two Moons by Aisha Abdel Gawad. It's about 3 siblings coming of age, one Ramadan, which I think we are still in Ramadan right now. Depending on when this comes out, I know Ramadan started mid-February, I believe. I think it goes till this weekend, which for me is the 19th. I think it stops the 19th, which is the full moon. About twin sisters, Amira and Lena, who are about to graduate high school. They are being teenagers and they want to go run free and do all kinds of crazy stuff and discover who they are. But their mysterious older brother just got released from prison. And it looks like the area that they live in, Brooklyn, is being protested and attacked, and the Arab community there is being attacked. The 2 girls are trying to figure out who they can trust and what's going on, what to believe and what to do. The next 2 books I found at the Goodwill, Threads That Bind, and its stunning sequel, Hearts That Cut. Never read it. Is it good? Who's to say? Not me. I have read Threads That Bind. I got it in one of my book boxes. So I've been collecting sequels to books I got in my book boxes so I can know how they fucking end. Anyways, these are by Kika Hatsupulu, and it's about 3 sisters, aka the Fates. One that can weave, one that can draw, and one that can cut the threads that connect people and things they love. The youngest sister uses her abilities as, I think that she can cut the threads. She's a private investigator, but she discovers that someone is abducting women and maiming their life threads and then turning them into wraiths, and then they go wreak havoc on the city. So she gets involved with the mob to kind of figure out what's happening and see if she can stop it. But then her estranged older sister shows up with her best suspect. I read this right before my wedding, so there was a lot going on, and I didn't give it the attention it deserved, so I wanted to reread it before I read the sequel, which I always do anyway because I'm a big loser and I have to read them together or it doesn't count. So, yes, I already had this one. Yes, I still have it. It's very pretty, but it was $1.50 to get ones that match, so I'll spend $1.50 for my overconsumption. Sue me. I am a woman of my word, and I will get a blackout on my bingo if it kills me. I am going to a book ball, and it's also like a book con with one of my favorite authors, Adeline Grace, going, which I'm not saying she's the only reason I wanted to go, but she was up there. So I figured I should probably not be just an insane fan of one author because they have millions. That's not true. They have a lot, though. And I should read some other books by the other authors that are in attendance of the book con. So I purchased a couple books that sounded interesting to me. I painstakingly went through every single author listed on their website, and then I Googled the author, and then I Googled their books, and I, judged them all by their covers, and read a little synopsis of a couple of them to see if I thought that I would like them. Only one of the authors had a book that was already on my TBR, so obviously I got that one. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. Other than that, I added 18 new books to my ever-growing TBR. Anyways, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. This one was giving The Secret History vibes, which I did love The Secret History, and I fucking hated The Goldfinch. The main character, Jessica, is going back to her college for a college reunion, which I've never heard of. She had to leave campus when Heather Shelby's murder fractured everything. So it ruined the bond she had with her friends. But not everybody is ready to move on from the murder that happened a decade ago. So they want to figure out who did it because the murder has been unsolved all this time. Told in dual timelines, which is fascinating, and it will probably drive me insane. But In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I also got I'll Stop the World by Lauren Tomlin. Our main character is Justin Warren. His whole life has been about his grandparents dying, a very suspicious death. Also an unsolved murder happening before he was born, but the ripple effects are still being felt. His choices send him into the path of a determined optimist, Rose Yin. They live in the same town and attend the same school and have never met because Rose lives in 1985. So also has time travel, which is super cool. It sounds like he gets sent back in time to Rose and his grandparents when they were alive and see if he can solve the murder that hasn't happened yet. That sounds so cool, obviously, or I wouldn't have bought it. Anyways, Together We Rot, my favorite thing to do, by Skyla Arndt. This one is also about murder. Oops. So our main character, Will, her mother was murdered, and she thinks that her best friend's family is the one that did it. It also has some religious trauma, so they have to uncover the truth of what happened to Will's mom and what Elwood's dad is doing. Also, stunning cover. Can we see it? Gorgeous. Look at it. And finally, I saved this one for last because it looks the cutest. Brewed with Love. Aww. By Shelley Page. It's about a plant witch named Sage, because of course she is, and she's going to run her family's apothecary. Okay, she's been working on a potion, perfecting a heartbreak tonic to compete with the Magic Superstore. And then someone breaks in, steals the tonic, and wipes the high school cheer captain's memory. All the while, they just hired her ex-best friend, whom she might have one or two extra feelings for. So that is Brewed with Love. Okay, next book. I got 2 books from Thrift Books because I had a free book credit and I needed free shipping, irregardlessly. This was the next book club pick. This is Joy Williams's The Visiting Privilege. So this is a collection of short stories. There's like 47 short stories in here. I wish you could feel how heavy this book is. It is 1,000,000 freaking pounds. It is, let's see, almost 500 pages. So the person that picked it was like, if you read just one, that counts. So you don't have to read all of them. This will probably be one I'm going to read very, very slowly. I'm going to go for like maybe one a day. Because me and short story collections, we're not the best of friends. I just finished the Peach Pit for Women's History Month, and I liked it. I just think I need to read short story collections a lot slower than I read normal books. None of them said what anything was about. There's 47 freaking short stories. How do you even summarize 47 freaking short stories? Also, I just realized there's a bookmark in here because I got it from Thrift Books, so this was pre-loved. The bookmark, it's bookmarked on the lover. Here's the bookmark. It's a painting by Jean-Lian Jerome, The Bath, oil on canvas, from the Fine Arts Museum of San Francisco. I guess I have a free bookmark now. Along with that one, I got My Sister's Big Fat Indian Wedding. Listen, I'm a girl, so obviously I love My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And I read another book by Sanji Patel, The Trouble with Hating You. Fucking loved it. It was one of my favorite books last year. So this is a book I decided to put on my book bingo prizes list. So I decided for my book bingo, every bingo that I get, I picked out 25 books and a book series if I get a blackout. So every book bingo that I get, every time I get a bingo, I get to read one of those 25 books. So this is one of them. I was so excited. One of my book goals on my book bingo is to do a buddy read. And doing like anything with the book club feels like cheating, and doing a buddy read with my husband also feels like cheating. So I texted my BFF, my maid of dishonor, and I said, hey, do you want to do a buddy read? And she said, hell yeah. What book? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I didn't think I'd get this far. And so she said, what if we read Wuthering Heights? I've never read it and I want to hate watch the movie. I said, I've low-key been wanting to reread it because I read it a long time ago before my brain developed, and I didn't love it because I'm an idiot. I don't understand literature. So this is my copy of Wuthering Heights. I scoured the internet. I looked at every possible cover and version and text size because I'm a snob about mass market paperback text fonts. I can't fucking read them. I hate them. So I was literally looking at every review, showing pictures of the text to make sure that I got one that I could actually read. So this is my cover. It's very much giving the Kate Bush Wuthering Heights song. The back has David Tennant on it for some reason. That's not Heathcliff. That's a white man. That's the doctor. We're in the final stretch. We're in the final collection. If you are familiar with me and my lore, if you follow me on TikTok, you know that I hate drinking water. I made a deal with my husband, and I said, if I can drink one of these a day, every day for a month, you have to buy me a book. And he said I would literally do anything to get you to drink more water. We went book shopping. We were 2 months behind. He owed me 2 books. So I found this book, Where the Library Hides, which is the sequel to What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. I fucking love her books. I read that one, and then I also read Together We Burn, which was about dragons. So fucking sick. What the River Knows was so fucking good. I can't tell you what this is about without ruining what happened in What the River Knows, but it's about a young girl who goes on an archaeological dig in Egypt with her dad. I don't think she was supposed to go. She just kind of like showed up. I was like, well, I'm here. I'm going to draw shit. And they obviously uncover a lot of crazy shit. People are horrible and vultures, and they will try to steal the amazing artifacts and resell them for a lot of money. She gets caught up in the middle of it, and her dad's assistant is kind of sleazy, but also kind of hot. Uh-oh. And then I found a book that looked so stinking cute that I had to get it. Coffee Shop in an Alternate Universe. It's about a young girl who is trying to get a scholarship submitted, and her Wi-Fi goes out, so she goes to a local coffee shop, and she meets Kat, who's working at the coffee shop. Kat is so obsessed with Brenda, who's our main character, and she's like, can't stop thinking about her. And Brenda doesn't care that Kat is the chosen one. They're from 2 different universes, and they need to find a portal to go on a second date. And the realities collide and things spiral out of control. How cute! It reminded me of Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Not that I ever read that, but it also has a cat on the cover. So cute. So I had to get this one, obviously. Because if I didn't, what's the point of life without a cute, cozy gay mystery? So those were my 2 that my husband owed me. And then, because I'm insane, I couldn't stop myself from buying more books. So I bought more books. I have been wanting to get more into witchcraft, and I see a lot of shit on TikTok, but I'm 1,000 years old and prefer something more tangible that I could hold to learn and understand and practice something. So I got a little book of Wicca, literally, an introduction into witchcraft. Didn't read anything about it, didn't look it up. I said, this is cute. It's $5. I'll get it. Another free bookmark. Happy days. I already have 2 tarot sets. So I got a book about tarot because it comes with a little card thingy that explains everything to you. But this one also had tea leaf reading, palms, numerology, crystals, and astrology. So this had like a lot of stuff in it. So I wanted to do different spreads, but I don't know how or what I'm doing. And I don't want to just use TikTok as my only like thing because I don't want to be on my phone all the time. Tarot and other divination arts. And finally, one that I thought would be just like a little bit fun because I've been wanting to get into and learn more about glamour magic. There was a whole book on glamour magic. Yeah, because I saw a girl on TikTok say, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful. Thinks I do witchcraft on myself. I'm not interested in hexes and cursing people and putting that into the universe because that's what's going to come back to me. I am concerned about me and what's a little glamour magic between friends. Those are my book hauls. Hold on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 books in a month. I have a severe problem. Send help. Dominic also got me this shirt of little geese reading. That one's reading, and then that one's buying books. And then that one's also reading and standing on a book. And that one has a book on its head. How cute. Because one of my book goals was to get a bookish t-shirt. So now I have one. Happy days. So those are my 18 books that I purchased in the last like 3 weeks. Now if only I could purchase more time to read them, that'd be great. Spring break is coming up. I'm going to do a 24-hour readathon. I'm going to read a bunch of books, as many as I can for 24 hours, because I'm insane. So I'm trying to figure out what books to read. I'm leaning towards the like fairy tale retellings. I think they're called the Meant to Be series. So it's like these ones. It's 5. I know that's a lot. This is a Cinderella one, Beauty and the Beast. I already read the Little Mermaid one, Rapunzel, and then Mulan retellings. They're a little thick and heavy, but they were also like the Little Mermaid one was just very silly and fun and whimsical and like really easy to read. And I've read books by a couple of these authors before. Maybe I'll read those. I don't know. Otherwise, I'll just pick out random books. Maybe do a tarot TBR. Who knows? That'd be fun, actually. I'm just yapping your ear off. I need to stop yapping and go read, actually, one of the 18 freaking books that I've purchased in the last 2 weeks. So thanks for coming on this journey. See you next time. Hopefully next time is our monthly month. Please go read something. If you're buying a book, better than buying drugs. Reading makes you empathetic. And please, please, please get us out of this fucking literacy crisis. Please, 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 love of God, gods, all divine creatures. Read more than 2 books this year. Please, please, please. I don't care which ones they are, as long as they're not like Nazi propaganda. Please. Okay, love you. Go read something. Bye!